Palestine, indigenous and living still in Gaza now.
Good morning. Thank you for being here. Thank you for hanging in through the rain. When I started writing this, I had to think long and hard about whom I should be talking to with the limited time that I have. I decided that I will definitely not spend all, and probably not even much of it, on addressing this university and its president. If this institution was as committed to the development of future generations as it likes to think it is, it would have set an example and stood up for the right thing before many of us here were even born. It would not have needed you to stand up after 7 months of slaughter to be reminded of the values that it claims to champion. It would even now be scrambling to distance itself from a state that has gleefully pummeled an area half the size of this very city into the ground. A state that violated an order from the highest court on the planet within literal minutes just this weekend. Making even clearer what we all here knew days and weeks and months ago, that the state of Israel is not conducting a war, it is committing a crime. But who is the U of T uncomfortable with? You. Instead, it has decided that it is you who simply demand that we not be complicit in mass murder and in apartheid and in racial injustice. You are the problem. On behalf of the Health Workers Alliance for Palestine, I have even less to say for the Temerty Faculty of Medicine and for its deans, past and present, since they have had 8 months to learn of over 500 health workers' murders in Gaza, including 28 medical students, and have not said one word in protest at the killing of their own colleagues. Not one word in horror at the profane disregard for those who do not take life but who give it. Then I have only one word for them. Shame! On October 15th, my mother's cousin was murdered. Dr. Omar Farwana, former Dean of Medicine at the Islamic University of Gaza, was at home with his wife, also a doctor, and with their children and with their grandchildren, including my cousin Ayat Farwana, a 17-day-old infant. 17 in total, not one combatant among them, all killed with one bomb. On that day, I naively thought that nothing worse could happen to my family. I continue to be wrong. At the last count, 44 of the Farwana clan are among the martyred in Gaza. Those are just the ones confirmed. On that day, I hoped that this level of horror was unique only to me and my family, that no one else here would have to experience the disillusionment of just numbers like this. As you may have discovered from talking to your colleagues here, you already know I'm not alone. Dr. Omar is gone. The Islamic University of Gaza is gone. Every single university in Gaza is gone. And yet President Gertler speaks of academic freedom. And he decides that it is not the criminals who did this who should be taken to task or even simply be shunned. The president instead decides that it is you who must go. And who knows, maybe we'll have to. Who knows how the next minutes, the next hours, the next days will go as I prepared to come onto this podium, I got word that the University of Toronto has formally requested an injunction. But after spending time on this encampment, after listening to folks speaking in all the tongues original to this land, and to those of us who are privileged enough to have come here, Arabic, Hebrew, English, French, people who do not always share language, but who share humanity. Because of that, I have become more certain of this than anything that I have had go through my mind in over half a year. They may be the authority, but you are the power. Your teachers, your staff workers around you here can attest to this far more eloquently than I ever could. But on behalf of my mother, who has been watching you for the last month from Cairo in admiration and awe, I have to try. You are not here to be like us. You are here to be better than us. We are only here right now because you have taken this goal to heart. And because you know better than many who claim to have more experience around you of what integrity is. So as a human being, as a Palestinian, as an education worker, as a health worker, as a steel worker, but above all, just as my mother's son, no matter what happens today, this week, this month, I could not be prouder to be here with you. Free Palestine!